Today I want to introduce you to Constant Change by Jim Glidewell. This year marks the 50th anniversary of Glidewell Laboratories. It therefore makes perfect sense to release a book that explains, enlightens, and celebrates the accomplishments and the legacy of the founder of the world's largest dental laboratory. My name is Norbert Wolmer, and I want to welcome you to a new episode of A Book for the Nook. To cut straight through the chase, yes, I do recommend you reading this book. It is a very enjoyable 229 pages read that is filled with personal anecdotes about Jim Glidewell's upbringing, his family background, his experiences in the Vietnam War, feelings about religion, philosophy, relationships, and ultimately his motivations. It is an honest book, and this is what makes it so wonderfully meaningful. And while it is about the business of a dental lab, most of its concepts can be equally applied to any other business. Jim Glidewell was born in May of 1945 in Las Vegas. Since his dad was originally from Kentucky, where he also spent some time with his grandparents, he considers himself a Las Vegas boy with a Kentucky heart. During his time in Kentucky, he grew up without running water and electricity. He joined the U.S. Navy in 1963 and soon after found himself on a ship in the Vietnam War. On the ship, he began reading a lot and came to the conclusion that he alone was in charge of his future. Under the impression of the needless carnage and his experience of the Vietnam War, he promised himself that if he got home in one piece, he would dedicate his life to doing the very best he could. He wanted to be a voice of progress and to better human conditions in any way he could. In Vietnam, he lost his belief in organized religion. He turned to the teachings of the Russian-American writer and philosopher Ayn Rand. Rand is known for objectivism, a philosophy that is based on reality, reason, self-interest, and capitalism. Her theories reflect Jim Glidewell's viewpoint on his own life and the world in which he believes that each of us is totally responsible for our own actions. After his return from the war, he had a variety of jobs. Amongst others, he was selling insurance policies. None of his jobs was really fulfilling. One day, as Jim was selling a policy to his friend Rex, who worked as an in-office dental technician, he was fascinated by what he saw. Rex was making something with his hands, a legitimate business where you actually made something and sold it. That day he knew that he wanted to become a dental technician. 2 years later, in 1969, he graduated from Orange Coast College in California with a dental associate's degree. He started Glidewell Laboratories in January 1970 after the dentist he was working for had to let him go since he had not been able to pay the rent for his office. As he built his business, he wanted to create a safe home for employees who want job stability and career advancement. His secret weapon: hire smart people, train smart people, and retain smart people. And use the power of the smile whenever you walk through your company, because a smile says that I like you. He frequently compares people with bananas in the sense that once you bruise a banana, you can't get the bruise back out. Ayn Rand's objectivism assumes that people are motivated by their own selfish needs. Jim Glidewell uses this knowledge and built his company around that. Management is having employees accomplish the company's objectives for their own selfish reasons. If you put people on the same team, then they will align their own selfish interests to the same cause and work as one for the success of the team. But just as important as it is to direct these energies within the company, the same selfishness also worked against him when people's interests outside of his company were pursuing their own selfish needs. This led Jim Glidewell to reduce dependencies from others and to increase control over his company and destiny by vertically integrating more and more functions such as R&D, supply chain, marketing, advertising, and so on. 400 out of his 5,000 employees work in customer experience, advertising and marketing, education, and sales. Vertical integration is an integral part of Glidewell's ability to grow and prosper as it increases their ability to change. The key to survival is the ability to change and adapt. This is simple Darwinism. However, Glidewell not only adapts to change, he creates change. Praxeer is such an example. One of his main realizations came from a salesman from a local printer company who was calling on him. He said, "Anything that is not in harmony with nature will cease to exist." The moment an organism or a company ceases to exist in harmony with its environment, it moves towards extinction. If you think of a company as a living organism, then the moment the company stops growing, the company starts to die. What all his top-level managers and he have in common is a go-getter attitude and a bias towards activism. He suffers from blind optimism and likes to control his own destiny. He sees himself as a lone wolf who understands that his team is the foundation of his success. Nothing great has ever been achieved by a single person. He hires 15 to 16 people every Monday, always has about 130 people in training, and he expects to double his current headcount to about 10,000 by 2025. He is a risk taker, but would never gamble with the security of his people. His core values are responsibility, protectiveness, and absolute loyalty towards his allies. His recommendation to other lab owners are: learn marketing and promote your image and business. Start accepting digital files. Learn everything you can about CAD/CAM and change the way you do things. Always remember, you're truly in charge of your own future. Go digital, learn digital, think digital. His job and his challenge to us is to always look to the future. I hope you will enjoy the read. Thanks a lot for watching and stay safe.